The reason I was there that day was because the district attorney's office in Sharon Wilson has made it a criminal offense to film police officers in their line of duties, which is a First Amendment protected activity. I've submitted evidence to the district attorney's office and to his attorney showing the man's innocent. She still wants to prosecute the case, along with many other First Amendment rights violations. The charges were dropped, and the district attorney's office still will not release that body cam footage. Is the First Amendment illegal in Tarrant County? Why are you prosecuting Manuel Mata if the First Amendment's not illegal? Are you going to walk away? That's what I thought.
Well, the answer to that, folks, is malicious prosecution. When the district attorney's office has been presented with exculpatory evidence showing somebody's innocent and they still pursue charges, it's called malicious prosecution. It's happened to me. It's happened to many other people here. And the district attorney is the one who makes the decisions if the cases go to trial or they can be dismissed. She has the power to dismiss these cases against people that pertain to First Amendment protected activity. She chooses not to. She actively is working against anybody that's a citizen journalist that wants to bring real news. In the case I had, I was denied the right to a speedy trial. I was denied a fair hearing because I was already put on an ankle monitor and being forced to pay fines when I wasn't guilty. Just for the case to be dismissed 3 days before it's set to go to trial. When there was exculpatory evidence showing my innocence the entire time. Now, I have sued the district attorney's office in federal court, and that matter is still pending. And I also have 2 lawsuits here locally, which will be getting heard next week. So here's my interaction at the commissioner's court. Let me know what y'all think about in the comments, or let me know something you would like to see get asked. Till next time, y'all, later.
On the 2019 in custody death of Mr. Robert Miller. I assume each of you has read the article, and I hope you share my deep concerns. Among other unsettling details, the article raises these key questions. Number one, did Tarrant County jailers pepper spray Mr. Miller 3 times while he was physically restrained in their custody? Number 2, if so, were medical personnel duly notified of this fact critical to Mr. Miller's livelihood and care? Number 3, why did the medical examiner determine that Mr. Miller's cause of death was sickle cell disease, though Mr. Miller was not known by loved ones to have had sickle cell? And number 4, why, as reported, was video from the time immediately preceding Mr. Miller's death not reviewed by the Texas Ranger in charge of investigating the case? And why is that video being withheld from the public today? These are gravely important questions. Given all that has happened in this city and in our jail since 2019, I cannot see how the sheriff's office, the office of the medical examiner, and the county itself can go forward in good faith and conscience without having these questions answered. I call upon you, commissioners, to request a full investigatory review of Mr. Miller's death by the Department of Justice. And I ask that you commit to doing so regardless of who wins next week's county elections. Today is All Saints Day, and tomorrow is All Souls Day. A day for remembering that whether saints or not, all souls matter to God. Mr. Miller's soul mattered. His life mattered. And I ask you to affirm the dignity of Mr. Miller's life by ensuring that the circumstances of his death get the attention they deserve. The citizens of our community are counting on you to do
Mr. Alan B.
Give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Judge Whitley and Mr. Commissioners. I'm basically just here to say amen to what Reverend Price just said. I am a member of this church. I'm also head of a group called Friends of Justice, which has been working with criminal justice reform issues for 20 years, starting off in Tulia, Texas. And I have spent a lot of time in jails and prisons, and I know they are dangerous places. And I know that the people who work there are at risk and are in danger. But I would also remind everyone, that it doesn't really need to be said, but I think it should be said anyway, that the people who come in and out of our jails and prisons are also in danger. Some of them are dangerous people, but we are charged not just to protect the public from dangerous people, but to protect the people in our charge. And those who work in these facilities need to be trained, they need to be educated, they need to be professional, we need to have protocols, and we need to stick to them. And so those are just some of the concerns that I just wanted to touch on. Basically, as I said, I'm just here to reinforce what Pastor Price said.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. Alex Stringer. Alex Stringer. Cody Highroller, excuse me.
Hello, I'm back today again to give you guys a follow-up with the situation that's been going on at the sheriff's office. I was here a week ago addressing the First Amendment rights violations that have taken place in the bond office at the Tarrant County Jail. Since that meeting, I've went back there to bond an innocent man out of jail again. And while I was there, I was threatened with arrest for filming in a public lobby. Me and the officer had no interaction that day prior to me being threatened with arrest. The reason I was there that day was because the district attorney's office in Sharon Wilson has made it a criminal offense to film police officers in their line of duties, which is a First Amendment protected activity. I've submitted evidence to the district attorney's office and to his attorney showing the man's innocent. She still wants to prosecute the case, along with many other First Amendment rights violations. She's also an advocate for Not in My County, which is a political movement to incarcerate people just based on somebody's word. The judge, there's two finalists for judge in the family violence courtroom. One is Brad Clark, and the other one's name is Lisa Pamplin, who is a known racist and a bigot towards white people. If you follow the Aaron Dean case, he got a new judge based on far less bias. Will the people in Tarrant County that are white get a fair trial with Lisa Pamplin as judge? She is currently a finalist for judge on the Democratic Party, which you've openly endorsed. Another thing is I'm going to have to be filing another letter of intent to sue here because nothing has been done in regards to the trespass that was issued at the Internal Affairs Office, and I'm still being threatened with arrest at the Tarrant County Jail. Another thing is when officers are acting outside the law at the district attorney's office, like which would happen to me. Sharon Wilson yet again has sealed all public records to body camera footage. It's on body camera footage that there's a woman named Sergeant Hinkin with the Burleson Police Department that was coercing a victim, well, an alleged victim, to say that I raped her. Is completely false. There was no evidence against me in the assault case that I had. The charges were dropped, and the district attorney's office still will not release that body cam footage.
Just to clarify, guys, on why the district attorneys won't turn over the body cam footage, it's because Sergeant Hinkin committed the offense coercive persuasion. That's when you're basically telling somebody what to say, and when they're not going along with it, you're trying to persuade them into making false statements to lead to an arrest. But here's the rest of the video.
With that being said, with the Not in My County thing that she's a part of, we have one of your sheriff's deputies, Officer Cox, sexually assaulting a friend of mine. So if it's going to be Not in My County, does that just apply to citizens, or does that apply to government officials as well? Because Officer Cox has not only assaulted me, but he's also sexually assaulted my friend, and he's still working with the sheriff's department. Thank you.
Another one that put in for public comment was Dr. Linda Thomas, but she had to, I believe, Linda Thomas, not here, she did. That, is all of the public comments that signed up for the day. At this time, we'll discuss our open meeting procedure closed.
We have engaged an independent medical exam to look at the autopsy and the available medical records so that this court can be clear as to, can have an independent view as to what went on. Once we get that, then we will be in a position to decide on what the next courses of action are. That's where we're at.
At this time, we'll recess our open meeting procedure closed to discuss items accepted under section 551.107.
If you're going to do Not in My County, it needs to be towards police officers as well. Not in My County, that's what you support?
Now I'm going to cut the video right there, guys, because I'm about to go talk to Sheriff Bill Wayburn. And you guys ain't going to believe what he says he's going to do when I talk to him. I'm going to leave that in the next video. But anyways, here's the rest of the interaction with Sharon Wilson.
As soon as I have this, because what's going to happen is
Hey, Sharon, is the First Amendment illegal? Is the First Amendment illegal in Tarrant County? Why are you prosecuting Manuel Mata if the First Amendment's not illegal? Are you going to walk away? That's what I thought. It's a stooge right there.